Welcome back. This is going to be the part three of my scary stories. Today I'm going to tell a story this was years ago. I went to this nightclub with a friend of mine, and while he was at this bar, this young lady walked up to me and asked me if I wanted to dance. So we started dancing. I'm not much of a dancer. She's kind of laughing at me. She ended up kissing me on the cheek. My friend, he got finished doing his business at the bar, and then we were going to leave. So I told her I had to go, and I asked for her number. She gave me her number. The next day in the morning, she sent me like 5 text messages telling me to come to her house. So I got in my car, and I was asking her, "What's your address? What's your address?" She told me, "Oh, just let me know when you're in your car, and then I'll like guide you." She's like, "Where do you live?" So I'm like, I have GPS. You could just tell me, where your house is, and I'll just go. She's like, "No, just I'll guide you." Which should have been a really big red flag, but it was early in the morning, and we'll say I wasn't thinking clearly. So she guides me to her house. I get there, we hug, we go inside of her house. So when we're walking in, she's like, "Oh, okay, I have a roommate." So she was some kind of like a South American young lady, early 20s, in good shape and everything. And when I get into her house, her roommate is like this 40-year-old guy. He has like a real long ponytail. He looks like he hadn't left the house in like a long time. He's extremely pale. They just really don't match up. So, that's when the actual red flag went off. So she guides me to this balcony that's like passing the living room. Once we get on the balcony, we sit down. She offers me a beer. I open it myself, of course, and I start drinking the beer. She starts smoking weed. I ask her, I'm like, "You don't want to like go inside your room or something?" And then she's, "No, we could just chill here. They're doing construction on my room." So I'm like, "Who?" She's like, "Oh, some friends." I'm like, "Okay, well, like, where are they?" She's like, "Oh, they're in there." So, that's another like really big red flag. I'm, naturally a pretty paranoid person. But you get 2 red flags in the matter of, you know, 5 minutes. Them spider senses start tingling, and you start thinking about how you're gonna get out of the situation you're in. Fight or flight. So she keeps smoking weed, and I'm asking her, "So like, what do you want to do now? You want to go somewhere else since you know they're doing construction and I don't know where they are?" She's like, "No, we can chill here." So then she starts like peer pressuring me to smoke some of the weed, telling me how good it is and all this. And I smoked here and there. I don't really smoke too often anymore. But yeah, I for some strange reason let her peer pressure me into smoking. So I take one puff, and it just really hit me hard, extremely hard. And then my paranoia stepped up even more. So I would say not even a minute after I took a puff of the weed, 4 guys come out of the back room. They start moving the furniture around. They bring in 2 big trash cans. They start putting plastic on the floor. They're taping plastic onto the floor. I look over at her. I'm like, "What the hell are these guys doing?" She looks at me and she's like, "Construction." I'm like, "What the hell?" What are they doing? She stops answering me. So these guys are, it looks like they're setting the scene in order to like kill me or something. And I'm asking her, I'm like, why are they doing that? What's going on? She stops answering. So I stand up and I tell her, I'm leaving. She's like, okay, let me finish my beer. So I'm, just sitting there watching her. She's really taking her time. And I see the guys are starting to finish up what they're doing. The floor is almost completely covered in plastic, and they have these trash cans. I'm starting to get real worried for once they do actually finish. So I start like assessing the situation. I'm thinking like, how could I get out of this? What can I do? So of course, I could go for the front door. The balcony is just right past the living room. So you have the balcony, living room, front door. I can go to the front door, but I'm gonna have to go past, the supposed roommate and then the four friends. I'm high, so I don't, they're not like really big guys. I think the biggest dude, they were all like around like 5'10" or whatever. And, I believe I could beat up at least like one or, two, possibly three. But then eventually, the numbers could possibly get me. So I'm like, that's not the smartest way. But on the balcony, there's like a 1 foot space between the next balcony and then like these little like spikes that are on top of like the gate around the balcony, which is something I've never seen on a balcony before. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, can I make it through that? I'm a big dude. I had on a new outfit, brand new shirt, brand new pants, and I think my shoes were brand new too. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna ruin my outfit. I don't even know for sure that these people are gonna kill me. Possibly they could just be doing construction, but you know, once the spider senses start tingling, it's hard to get rid of that feeling. So I stand up. Right when I stand up, everybody stops doing what they're doing. The guys all stop, look at me, and this is the second time I'd stood up. The first time they didn't really pay attention to me, but this time I guess they could tell I meant business. They just all started staring at me. So I was like, all right, I'm taking the balcony spikes and we'll see how this pans out. So there's like this little like glass table. I jump on that, jump, squeeze, and break the table. There was like a pot on it too. Squeeze between the balcony and these spikes. It cuts, fucking rips my shirt. I end up falling. It was on a hill, so I fall downhill. I run around the apartment building, run to my car, get in it, start driving. So I'm driving. At this point in time, I'm in pretty good shape, but I'm sweating like, you wouldn't believe. I'm just pouring sweat. I start to feel like I am drugged. So I was considering like going and parking somewhere and maybe like getting in the back seat because I was thinking I was going to pass out, but I end up making it home. So I get home. Uh, I sleep like 12 hours and I keep waking up sweating and seeing stuff. It was pretty crazy. Anyway, the next day I get to work and I'm telling all my coworkers like, what happened to me. And then they all take it as like a joke. I was thinking about going to the police or something like that, but you kind of want to, hear what other people say, you know. You want like advice, but my coworkers, they were probably the worst people I could go to for that advice. So they told me it was because I was from Kansas. I don't know how it is in California. They told me it was all in my head and like stuff of that nature. Maybe I didn't like express like how scary the whole scenario and everything was. And I don't know, maybe I just didn't tell the story good enough, but I let my coworkers like talk me out of like going to the police and seeing like what really is going on up there. Because if you put all the red flags together, I look back at it now and it's like I'm lucky to be alive. Um, but yeah, sometimes I wish I would have, called the police just in case, like, something like that happens to someone else, or maybe I could have stopped it. Sometimes I try to remember like where exactly I went, but I was tired, and yeah, I just hope like, it wasn't what I believed it to be, and no one, you know, gets killed up there or whatever. It's pretty scary. Anyway, that's pretty much my story. Let me know if you guys think I'm paranoid or, you know, just like maybe it is because I'm from Kansas. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening. Over and out.